welcome back to episode 2 of the TLZ Report MMA podcast. All right, so UFC Fight Night, Rob Font and Cody Garbrandt just ended.
Not too bad, I'd say.
That was actually a pretty good fight night, yeah.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
Nothing was really gonna match last week's.
Yeah, I was going into this knowing the hype was going down.
Yeah, it was always going to be a bit of a
There's
letdown.
still some banger fights to be sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of first one was Jack Hermanson and Edmund Shabazian.
You know, a little bit of the wrestling going down in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You kind of expect that from a Jack Hermanson fight.
Yeah.
Evan looked good round 1, and then he just kind of didn't have an answer for the wrestling.
Oh, and then got flattened in round 3.
Yeah, that was some vicious ground and pound,
Yeah.
for sure.
There was a lot of blood tonight.
Yeah,
There was a bloody night of fighting.
buckets. Buckets.
For sure, yeah. I kind of wonder what's next for Jack Hermanson after that one.
He's kind of one of those like Derek Brunson kind of guys.
Yeah.
Where he's just kind of in the middle there. You
Yeah.
don't really know what to do with him.
Well, he's kind of weird because he beat Edmund Shabazian. His previous fight, he lost to Marvin Vittori.
Yeah.
But then in his previous fight to that, he beat Calvin Gastelum.
That's true.
So he's kind of a weird one.
Maybe Uriah Hall or something.
That's true. Yeah.
That's actually, yeah, I like that. That's a
They're 7 and 8.
Luke with the big opinions tonight.
This call me Sean Shelby.
Dana White, if you need me.
I was gonna say, or more athlete, Sean Shelby, call Luke.
I can match the guys in the top 10 pretty easy.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, if you have the top of the food chain, it's pretty easy to mix them up.
But yeah, decent fight. There's not really a whole lot to say about it though.
No.
It was just good performance by Jack Hermanson.
I was gonna say the judging on that one wasn't
It was
weird.
just crisp, clean. I totally agreed with round 3 being a 10-8.
Yeah.
Jack Hermanson was really. I think he must have had 4.5 minutes of control time in that round. He was pretty much on top of him for the whole thing and landing elbows, punches.
I was gonna say he bloodied him up, and like only in the third. Like he
Yeah.
didn't really have a scratch on him going into the third, and then kind of bunced.
Yeah, he sliced him. He sliced him and diced him.
Those elbows.
That's right. Yeah. No, it was a good fight. Good judging on that. Good call.
Then Ricardo Ramos versus Bill.
Mr. Bill.
Bill.
We were joking that his name should only be Bill. No last name, no fighter name.
Yeah.
Just Bill.
That's right.
In the blue corner, Bill.
I don't know why that's so funny.
It's a good time.
That fight did have a bit of wacky judging.
Yeah. Because, 2 judges gave him 30-27 for Ramos?
Yeah.
And, I agree he won, but I believe it was round 2.
Round 2, yeah, I did not think.
It was for Bill.
Bill.
Round 2 for Bill.
Bill.
It was definitely a close fight.
Yeah.
And so it's not egregious that they gave it to him. But
Well, I thought it was Ramos won 1, Bill round 2, and then Ramos round. So it was just weird to see the 30-27 because he was looking pretty tired in that round if memory serves.
yeah. But this is what we've come to expect. There's always that
It is
one
in
kind of
Vegas.
weird.
At least the right person won in Vegas.
Yes, that's true. There's always that one kind of weird whack judge
That is true.
that you're always split decision. What the hell is happening here?
Just wait till we get to the main event, folks.
Yeah, that was whack.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Then Felicia Spencer fought.
Norma Dumont, who, what you folks don't know is that while we watch UFC, a great amount of the discussions, not around the fighter's technique, but more around their tattoos. And I gotta hand it to her. Norma Dumont actually has a really good tattoo. It looks cool.
Yeah, the phoenix or bird or whatever it is actually is good.
Yeah, it looks
which is
super
rare for fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the wings going out the side, so I did a bit of a deep dive on the Instagram just to get a bit of a clearer picture, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would hard agree. Good for her. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just a pretty clean, obvious win for Dumont over Spencer.
It wasn't exactly a barn burner.
No,
It was
especially round 1 and the first half of round 2 was quite slow.
I'm not sure if Norma was just saving the gas tank a little or something.
Yeah.
But like once round 3 hit and she picked it up, then she was really fucking her up.
Yeah, even mid round 2, I think it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3 minutes ish left in the.
As soon as we made the tweet that
Yeah.
the fight was boring, the fight picked up.
Hey, if we wield that power, I will gladly
That's
tweet out.
true.
I will gladly be proven wrong on Twitter.
Every Kamaru Usman fight just went up.
I think someone already has that power.
That's true. That is true. His last
Kamaru
two fights
Usman's
have been
good now. He's not boring anymore.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
He's just
Yeah.
cringy.
Yeah.
He just has a little bit of the. If he was just himself, he would be fine.
Yeah.
But
He's not good on the mic. That is for
He
sure.
just tries too hard.
that's our humble opinion.
That's right. I mean, obviously, he would like annihilate me. He would like pull my stomach out from within me, and
It'd
there's
be a
nothing I
Mortal
can do about
Kombat
it.
fatality.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone's saying that he's bad at fighting.
Yeah, but if we were smack talking each other, I'm very confident in my chances. Extremely confident. He'd be like, "I'm a world champ. I beat everyone." I'd be like, "Yeah, but people like me, like more than 2."
Well, he talks with like the attitude of a person who doesn't do any of the things he does. Like he sounds like a poser on like I'm a problem, and like just the way he puts emphasis on words.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
but you
weird.
actually are. You are these things.
Yeah.
You don't have to try so hard to make me believe. I watch you punch Masvidal in the face. That's the evidence I need.
That's the best way of describing Kamaru Usman. He sounds like a guy who's pretending to be a world champ, but he's actually the world champ.
He's pretending to be what he is.
Maybe no one's told him like, Kamara, you're fine. Like you're cool. It's okay.
Buddy,
You know
won.
the belt means you're a champion.
Oh shit.
It's all in good fun though.
Yeah.
Of course, nothing but laughs here with the fellas. Kamaru Usman, if you ever want to come on the podcast,
So who the fuck are these guys?
if he
Marty.
just wants to come on and like berate us for a good half hour, sure.
I'd welcome it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go, Marty.
Make it happen. As Canadians, you know, you got to pour one out for Felicia Spencer, though.
Yeah.
You always hate to see the Canadian lose, but
But she did have the American flag sewn on the Canadian flag, so her
That's
allegiance is
true.
already divided.
true. Very questionable. Very
A
questionable.
lot of flags in that post-fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a blanket party. They made like a tent of blankets.
Dude, after the fight, you just cuddle up on the mat.
Roll up in the blanket. Yeah. GG. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Taffa and Jared Vandera was an incredible heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
Lots of action. I mean, really exciting.
Like a decent pace for two
Yeah.
big boys.
Yeah.
It was an awesome fight. I hope it gets fight of the night.
The literal definition of a bloodbath.
Yeah.
And cocaine
Oh my God.
in his blood.
He was wearing like a blanket of blood on his
Oh,
chest.
it was
So
covered.
weird that he gets like a little tiny cut on the top of his forehead, and it's not big. It's got to be just an inch long, if that, inch maybe 2.
Yeah,
and
couple inches.
he's covered in blood. And
I
the
mean, if you
entire
think like
octagon.
right, he like I assume just a lot of blood. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the head bleeds a lot.
Yeah, forehead bleeds like crazy.
Yeah.
Not much you can do about that.
Well, and I think because after they showed the replay, it was kind of hard to tell if he like the punch cut him, and then when they clashed, it like really opened it up or what. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
not sure either.
like headbutt cuts or
yeah, there was a little bit of a headbutt after he threw that.
Yeah,
hook.
yeah.
So maybe that did it.
and like
I mean-
wasn't intentional by
Yeah.
anyone. It was fair.
And I mean, obviously, like Jared did win that fight pretty clearly, but huge hats off to Justin Taffa. He was throwing big hands for that fight.
Yeah,
He
got
clipped
rocked
him
a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one gave up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was just an awesome, fun fight, and I would love to watch either of those gentlemen fight again.
Well, it's so rare just to see like the patience in like big heavyweights like that, where like, oh, you cracked him, and they don't just rush in and then get knocked out themselves. Like it was like,
Yeah.
okay, he's hurt.
Yeah, they both look pretty mature.
Yeah, it was good.
Which Justin only has like 7 MMA fights.
Yeah,
Damn,
He's
bright
shown-
future,
Yeah, he's showing good maturity.
brighter than mine.
I mean, bright, but he's also 4-3, so
Well, you know.
It's heavyweight. Honestly, I don't put too much stock in.
that is true. That's true. A loss in heavyweight just means a punch connected.
You got hit with a punch. Yeah.
Yeah, you're flipping a coin and all.
I will say the numbers are a little bit wider. Like Vanderade 141 for total strikes. Justin was at 74.
Oh yeah, like it was clear that Jared won, but I would say Justin's punched way harder.
Yeah, that's true. Especially was it the third round? Like
But
he
Jared was
he
landing
had
with
like a
body
good.
kicks.
Well, he had a good like minute minute and a half-ish where he was like landing consistently, or like he could, Van der Rey could go out, but then he just created some space.
Jared had a slapping body.
Yeah, those look painful.
Those ones that you're like, oh, glad I'm not on the receiving end.
He kind of hit Justin with them a little bit, and you could see him like I'm fine.
Yeah.
That little like shuffle.
Yeah.
Get some space.
Yeah, no, that was an awesome fight though. That was probably my favorite fight of the night, I would say.
Yeah, I'd give that fight of the night out of everything I saw.
And keeping up with the critique of tattoos, I am happy that Taffa, the man with the less than desirable tattoos, did not win.
Okay, so for those of you who maybe missed that early fight, Justin Taffa has tattoos starting at about, I would say just above belly button height is about accurate.
Yeah.
And then going down to past his knees, totally blacked out.
I think it's traditional or something.
Yeah,
Like, I think it's like a culture.
sure. So the question that we were wondering during the fights is if they start mid belly button and I can see that it's black all the way down to the shorts, and then he had those high slit shorts to like upper thigh, so you can see it's black up there. How much is blacked up?
Is it just legs? Does it stop at like his belt line?
Sure. Is his
gray area?
Is his ass not tattooed, or is it tattooed? I feel like not tattooed looks worse.
Yeah, I hope it's all tattooed for his sake.
Yeah,
It's kind of like if you had a tan, but you didn't have like a tan on your ass or whatnot.
But also that poor tattoo artist. That's not what you signed up
Well, because
for.
he has that kind of style of tattoo. Tai Tuivasa has more or less the same one, and there's one other gentleman.
Yeah,
who I
most
can't quite
people from that region seem to have those tattoos.
Yeah.
If it does have some form of very important significance, I do
We're
apologize.
just assholes.
I apologize for offending you, but I don't apologize for saying it looks like shit.
Because it
does.
It does, yeah. Yeah, great fight though.
Yeah,
and
very
then up next, Carla Esparza getting her first finish since 2014.
Yeah, no, it happens.
Yeah.
The important thing is you're winning.
Yeah, I mean, great win. She had a game plan and executed it perfectly, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, really just exposed Yan for not having any form of defense for wrestling.
Yeah.
She's definitely struggled with that, but also Carla Esparza is just very good at wrestling.
Yes, very true.
Man, those elbows from the top that she was landing on Yan, it looked like somebody was taking a coconut and just bashing it against the ground. You hate when you see the head kind of squish a little after taking an elbow.
Yeah.
You see the one that cut her, like she hits her, and there's like no downtime. It's immediately spurting blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of blood. A lot of blood in the octagon tonight.
Maybe a touch of a late stoppage, but not terrible.
I mean, because when we were saying, like, oh, they should stop this, she was, like, still hitting, but then Yan kind of, like, grabbed her arm and, like, outstretched it and, like, almost leveraged enough that she might have been able to get up to her, like, and then she just continued to get continued to get battered.
Do you think title shot for Carla?
Probably, yeah.
Either that or...
Not so much.
Well, if they decide to do the rematch between Rose and Wei Li, you could have Esparza and Joanna, just to keep everyone busy.
Is Joanna fighting?
I was going to say, I thought I saw the other day that Joanna was maybe thinking about hanging him up.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, what a fight to go out on if she does.
A hell of a fight, yeah.
Yeah.
She, like, I remember going into that one, we were all...
Is that the Wei Li one? Versus
Yeah.
Joanna?
Yeah.
Well, because we were all like, if she loses this, like, badly, then it's probably time. But, I mean, she was competitive.
I mean, that's
You could
one of
make
the
an-
greatest fights of all time.
You could make an argument that she did win that. Like, it was very
Yeah.
close. So it's not like she's getting left behind.
She did become an alien.
She did become the strongest choices.
If you folks haven't seen it, Google Joanna hematoma.
Or just versus Wei Li. Just
Yeah.
like in the 4th and 5th round, her forehead like
just
doubles in
swells.
size.
My forehead was a balloon.
Yeah. Well, and that was rough for poor Timmy to watch. Is that Joanna's? That is his girl.
She's my favorite lady. Love the high output. That fight was so good too because it was just kind of the classic Wei Li landing these very heavy shots, very heavy, very accurate. Joanna just going for insane output. And an awesome fight. Awesome fight.
Which really begs the question.
Don't get chills on it.
Had to fit that in somewhere. How hard does Rose hit?
Yeah.
Because I think she's dropped. She's dropped. Obviously, she put down Joanna.
Yeah.
And then starched Wei Li. So I'm like, how hard do you hit those? Like,
Starched
Joanna
Wei
can
Li.
wail. They can wail on each other for 25 minutes.
I will say, on the slow replay of Rose knocking out Weili, Weili doesn't see the kick coming at all.
Yeah.
She doesn't. Her eyes aren't even looking in that direction. The kick just sneaks up under and hits her in the.
I mean, it's definitely like a precision thing, but I mean, if you go back to Weili and like they tagged each other pretty cleanly with same kind of thing.
But
It's the ones you don't see coming, though.
the two times I've been dropped in sparring was from left head kicks that I didn't see.
There.
That's fair.
They're the worst.
Head kicks will do that too. Believe it or
I'm
not.
not worried about that, boys. I'm not gonna worry about any of that.
To any
Believe it or
future
not.
opponents of mine listening, left high kick.
Well, that's always the best thing anytime we're like sparring and stuff, because I'll like dip my head down to slip, and you guys are always like, I just want to grab your head and knee.
Just kick you in the head right
You
now.
deserve it. Okay, main event: Rob Font versus Cody the Punching Bag Garbrandt.
Oof.
we have a friend who may be listening to this podcast. If you are, I'm sorry for what we're about to say. She's a big Cody Garbrandt fan.
So, as a Dominic Cruz fan, there is a disdain that I naturally have for Cody Garbrandt.
This is very satisfying.
So, yeah, watching Rob Font punch him was very satisfying.
Fair and reasonable.
Rob Font did some extremely rude stuff to Cody. He was landing heavy shots pretty much at will. I thought that Rob Font won every round of that fight.
Yeah.
Round one being a little debatable. I
Yep.
could see it going either way, but I thought 2 to 5 were pretty much in the books. He was just landing such heavy shots.
Dude, my two favorite moments in that was the when he doubled the jab, pulled back, and then fired the uppercut. Very, very nice. And also when
Dirty.
Cody was tired and kind of lazily went for the takedown, and he like grabbed his shoulders, picked him up, kind of shoved him off, and then fired a right into his face. I was like, okay, now it's just bullying. Now I
You're
feel
just
bad.
being mean
Calling
now.
adults like
Yeah.
I was screaming at the television because Cody would just like dip his head like he did to a sunsow, looking to come back with a hook.
Yeah.
And I was like screaming, just head kick.
Please.
Well, it's crazy how many times he tried to like. I understand doing that maybe a few times because obviously it worked for you, and like the dip hook is very much his thing. But he did it like so many
He was
times.
trying to like bait him in, but
and
Rob
Font
Font
would
was
just
not
like look at
biting
him and
though.
like, no, I'm not gonna come at you when you're loaded up on your back foot and ready to throw.
This is true, yeah.
Rob Font looked good. He's got a nasty
Looked
jab.
really good.
Yeah.
I don't know who he fights next. It's such
'Cause-
a weird position with good old Aljamain at the top, who
Well.
has to rematch Yan.
He must.
And then Sandhagen and Dillashaw are tied up, right? They're going to fight each other very soon. which
I guess it kind of depends on how much damage is going into that one.
Yeah.
Like where once they're done, rather. Because Aljamain's out until I think he said
October?
yeah. So let's say
Here.
they go. Well, I think he said he'd be able to do it in like November. So let's say they do it November, December-ish. Yeah, that's a long time for poor Rob Font to wait. So
And not fight anyone?
Here's what I would do as the new employee. for
As the
UFC
new UFC
matchmaking.
employee.
I have Jan versus Aljamain, and then Corey versus TJ is happening real soon here.
Yeah.
So just give Corey, the loser of Corey versus TJ, to Rob Font.
It's a pretty good...
Because I feel like he needs one more fight for a title shot.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that
why the loser though?
Because the loser will probably get a title shot. Think if Corey wins,
No,
he
no,
gets
no.
a title shot.
If Corey wins, because he did lose to Aljo pretty quick, so I feel like
Nah, they'd give him a title
Yeah,
shot.
but then he starched Marlon, starched Frankie Edgar. Then if he beats TJ,
All right,
good
like,
for him.
hey, respect to Frankie Edgar. I also don't know if starching him is necessarily the most.
Hey, you better watch what you're saying about Frankie Edgar.
I'm just saying, like, the winner of that also because especially like if TJ wins, that's his first fight back after getting.
But TJ's still like
popping.
cream of the crop.
He is
skill wise.
Well, yeah.
But you beat a former champion. You're on a streak. You beat most of these
True. I
guys.
guess if he like starches Dillashaw.
Ooh, could you imagine that?
I mean, the comments that he was only good because of
The steroids.
steroids just rocking through. The unfortunate thing though is like, what else
Cody
do you
Garbrandt
do?
would be having a field day.
Like maybe you could have Rob Font and Jose Aldo, but that's not really a big deal for Font if he wins. No disrespect to Aldo.
Or you give Font the loser of Jan versus Aljamain.
Also,
Also, yeah, that's true. I like that more. I would enjoy
probably
that.
Aljamain.
If the first fight is anything to go by, it will be Aljamain.
It pisses me off, not because of what he's doing, but because I believed it. I liked Aljamain going to that when I was
I think
cheering.
we all did.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, he seems like a nice dude.
I
He's
was cheering wise, I was neutral going in. I didn't really care who won.
yeah.
But I liked him.
But he had
going in.
paid his dues. He had just taken out Sandhagen pretty, tidily, and I was like, oh, okay, let's go. This is fun.
I liked Aljamain, but I wanted Jan to win just because I like watching Jan fight.
Yeah, I do dude. Jan has some of the best just pure boxing in the
looks
sport.
great.
I'd say
He
his
kinda
hands
looks
are
like-
very crisp.
Like his combos are kind of old Jose Aldo kind of combos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that pop pop pop.
Well, and for the weight class, he's got to just kind of not because he's big, obviously, not like a compressed frame, but his shoulders are a little bit wider, so I feel like just the combos.
Yeah, he's a little broad for that.
Yeah,
weight class.
very broad. That's a good word for it.
We have hot takes on that Aljamain Sterling and Piotr Yan situation.
I mean, and the Oscar goes to.
Well, I remember when it happened, we were all like, oh, okay, he just ate a knee full force. Fair enough to call it off.
What it refers to is Aljamain Sterling, for those who didn't see the fight, took a illegal ground knee from Piotr Yan in the 4th round, I want to say.
Yeah, end of the 4th, I think.
And it was a bad knee.
It was a big
head
knee.
shot up, full power.
There was no problem with the fact that he won the bout. The problem is that he's so much ducking Yan after it.
Yes.
That is the problem. And the bajillion excuses he's made.
And I didn't even mind. It was a little weird when he was celebrating with the belt, but I'm like, hey, at the same time,
It's a
he didn't-
frustrating event. I get it.
And he didn't throw the illegal strike. He is still technically a champ, and it's
Yeah.
not just I won this individual fight. That's the years he took of getting to that position. So okay, fair enough and I'm sure his family was like, hey, you're the champ. Be happy about that.
Yeah.
But it's the
Him going, I didn't eat a big enough breakfast, though, as an excuse.
Well, then being well, maybe I'll go fight Henry Cejudo or blah. I was like, okay, no. You quote unquote won the belt, but you're not the champ at the same.
He was getting his ass beat.
Yeah. Well, dude, when Jan, he's supposed to be the ground game dude, and Jan was tossing it, having his will with him.
He was just practicing his Muay Thai sweeps on him.
Yeah. Well, even just, I'm
That's
pretty sure at
impressive.
one point he just grabbed, just legitimately pushed him down at one point.
Yeah.
It was not looking good for the old boy.
No.
So that fight should happen again, and I think it will.
Yeah, totally will.
And then winner can fight winner of TJ and Corey.
Yeah.
And then also, if we're just for some solidarity with the Cody Garbrandt's tattoos and how egregious they
Oh
are.
my god.
So we already if you've ever seen a picture of Cody Garbrandt, if not, just do a quick Google. He's got some rough neck tattoos, and he's got weird Jesus with kind of a pot belly on the arm that doesn't look great,
Emaciated
and kind of a
Jesus.
weird his arm lengths just aren't right. But we've all seen those before. The thing I noticed today that makes it's just the worst is he seems to have. After looking at pictures, it kind of looks like the boxer Arturo Gatti on his leg, and then on the other thigh, it appears to be a picture of his child. Now, the face of your child tattoos almost always look awful. Austin Pettis, unfortunately.
Faces always look bad.
Charles Olivier, I believe, just got one as well. Looks bad. But on the thigh, that's just so weird. Look at my thigh. This is my child.
It's just
what?
It's so easy for that to get stretched and distorted.
Also,
You put on a little muscle, you lose a little muscle, and now the proportion's off.
Yeah, also very true. Maybe it's a mental thing. You ever eats a really bad leg kick. He's like, no.
You kicked my child.
My kid. Oh.
How dare
He's
you?
laying in the hospital bed the next day. His child's face just all bruised.
You kicked this random boxer. How could you?
He's my hero.
The disrespect of calling Arturo Gatti a random boxer.
So listen.
Come on.
I'm a fan of MMA.
I know, but come on. Arturo Gatti did not have 3 amazing fights with Ward just for you to call him a random boxer.
Who?
With Mickey Ward.
It's a disappointment.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's why I just don't say anything.
This is the TLC MMA podcast. We'll start a boxing one, okay?
We will?
No.
Okay.
You'll be. It could just be you.
You could just be you,
No,
and
no.
we'll just go, yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I know who that is.
I'll send you something we're going on a boxing tangent. Sorry, Mickey Ward fights like it's a movie. Everything's just big and loading up, and he just, it looks like a Rocky montage, but it works for him. It's great fights though. Great fights.
It works for you. All right, let's hit up. So next fight night is Rosenstrike versus Sakai, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know most of the people on this.
This fight does not do much for me.
No.
Like the main event, obviously, Rosenstrike versus Sakai.
Great, yeah, that I'm hyped for.
That should be a banger.
Walt Harris and Marcin Tybura.
I don't know who this Tybura guy is, but we all can just like
Oh,
pray to the gods that Walt Harris wins.
Yeah, come on, let's go,
He's
buddy.
MMA god.
Has-
Walt Harris needs
What's
to win.
Marcin Tybura fought in the? Oh yes, he has a decent amount of fights actually. He beat Greg Hardy.
Oh,
Oh, that guy.
Oh, okay, I like him a lot more. I like him a lot more now.
we can all respect a man who's beat Greg Hardy.
Actually, he's on a bit of a streak because he beat Greg Hardy, he beat Ben Rothwell, he beat Maxim Grishin.
Oh no, Walt Harris, no.
Oh, and then I'll be honest, he lost to Sakai.
Oh,
Fascinating.
On a bit of a streak for the boys. So yeah, good. I'll have to rewatch. I know one of those fights. Just gotta get some info on him.
I'm not really sure who the rest of these guys are, but a lot of times those are the good fights.
Yeah,
That's
100.
The fights you do not
Guys
know.
trying to make their name.
Yeah, those are the banger ones. And kind of those like they're a lower level, so they kind of just throw more out there.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen Santiago.
It's kind of those bigger mistakes. They'll make bigger mistakes, and then the other guy will try to capitalize on it and do
Yeah.
something huge and make a mistake himself, and it's just fun to watch.
There's someone named Tom Breeze, so I'm gonna cheer for him just for the name.
So we
Tom
did.
the cool breeze.
That has to be a spider. If
has
it's
to
not,
be.
he's made a mistake. But we did see Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Yeah.
He fought on the Holloway Qatar card, and he lost by KO to Li Jingliang, which I remember that.
Oh, I do remember that fight. That was a good fight.
That was a good one.
Okay.
Okay, this might be a banger then.
Yeah.
I do not remember that fight.
I mean, it is bad when I remember you from getting knocked out by a dude, but hey, let's go.
Happens.
We're fans of the other guy, so that's the only reason we've remembered him.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's true. Jingliang his look decent. For sure.
He's got good fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So let's kind of move into the news section, I think.
Yeah.
Send news.
We mentioned it, but obviously TJ and Sanhagen rescheduled for July 14th.
Hype. Very hype.
Very.
Isn't that like around the same time that Connor versus Dustin is, or is that in June?
I think it's July, but I thought it was the 22nd.
Let's take a look here.
We do have the internet at our fingertips,
Power of Google.
in the palm.
Because if that's the same month,
No, so July 10th is Dustin Poirier and
What the
McGregor.
fuck? So they fight 4 days later?
Yeah, 4 days. Yeah, that's weird.
July 10th, really? I wonder if that's International Fight Week, because they usually have the Saturday, the Wednesday, then the Saturday again.
Damn, for the Wednesday? That is fucking killer.
Well, maybe they're gonna announce a bunch more stuff because right now there's one on June 26th.
Yeah.
That's Volkov and Gain, and then it just jumps right to July 10th. So I don't know. Maybe they're gonna.
Yeah, maybe it'll get
Is it? It's on a Monday, July 14th, though.
Maybe just the date that announced was wrong, or
that. I would kill myself if it was on a Monday.
yeah,
I've
it's not.
recently become employed, and there's no way I would be able to watch that fight.
Yeah, I feel like they're not doing
I wonder if it's
that
like-
hype of a fight on the 14th.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's just like a placeholder date they have or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
yeah, that's possible too. Hopefully.
Yeah. But yeah, should be a good fight. Obviously, TJ. Or I guess for some people who don't know, TJ, this is his first fight after a 2-year suspension.
Yeah, 2
For
years suspension.
popping for EPO, which is a performance-enhancing drug.
Like the old steroids.
It is worth noting that it appears from the evidence that he did just use that drug because he was going down in weight class to get to 125 to fight the champion at the time, Henry Cejudo. So it just appeared that he could not physically get down there naturally, so he unfortunately decided to go to some supplements to get down there. But you know, it's not like it completely sullies his 135 name. He is still a very good, very skilled fighter.
And honestly, I do believe him that was the only time he used it.
Well, they went back and like tested his
Yeah.
ones
Yeah.
from the Cody Garbrandt fights and all that.
I
so.
think either I saw the wrong thing or they changed it. I think it's July 24th, not 14th,
Oh, okay.
which makes sense. I just did a quick gazoogle.
Okay, yes, we probably
that
missed
may-
that. A 1 instead of a 2. That is.
All good. This is not, high professionals setting this up.
It says TJ Dillashaw versus Corey Sandhagen rescheduled to headline July 24th event.
Nice. And then Sandhagen has looked great recently. Last loss was to Aljamain. He got subbed pretty quick, but then Starch and dude.
Murdering people.
That's when he knocked out Frankie Edgar. Look it up if you haven't seen it. It is a crazy knee.
Yeah, he did kill him.
It is horrifying to witness. Yes.
Yeah.
He's got like Francis Ngannou times in the ring. These last two fights.
Oh yeah, because he put Moraes pretty.
Yeah, first round too.
Out.
Yes.
Put him out. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, speaking of that division, you got Otto versus Pedro Munoz.
Great fight.
Yes.
Great fight. Aldo's been looking good. I don't even feel like the years have caught up with him that much when I've watched him fight. He's looked good.
He looks good. I feel like the competition has caught up with him more than age has.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like size, like in the fact that like people are so much more efficient with kind of weight, like he had to drop down from 145 because dudes at 145 were just getting so much bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
like
for sure.
165.
These big boys at 145.
I mean, Max Holloway walks around like 180 or something.
Yeah, ridiculous.
When he's like big.
Yeah. Yeah, that is truly.
That's a good fight though. Pedro Munoz looking really good. Just beat Jimmy Rivera.
Yeah.
A real good fight.
And his last fight, he beat Frankie Edgar as well.
Wah, wah, wah.
And then he had also lost to Aljamain Sterling. So damn, him and Sandhagen could be bros on a few of these topics.
Jose Aldo is always a fun time to watch too.
Always,
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's
I was gonna say name a boring Jose Aldo fight.
some of the earlier ones were kind of like but lately there's no bad ones.
What was Aldo's last fight? Who did he just? Because he had the weird anchor tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Like a
Branding
sticker
anchor.
on him.
Jose Aldo. Let's take a look here.
Hashtag where is Jose?
Oh yeah, he had a decision against Marlon Vera. Had lost to Jan because that was a brutal one.
Yeah, that one was tough.
Yeah.
Then quote unquote lost to Marlon.
But big air quotes on that.
Big air quotes on that one. And then had lost to Volkanovski, but again, fair enough on that one.
Yeah, so all the people he's lost to are like big boys.
That's what, I was gonna say Volkanovski is a thick 145er. That is a compact man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's insane that he has like MMA titles, obviously not like at the highest of level, but still has MMA titles at welterweight.
Yeah, that is totally crazy.
Wasn't he like 200 pounds in rugby or something?
I think he said he was like 230 or something like that when he's a rugby.
230.
I think maybe.
Yeah, he was a
Good lord.
And the funny thing is, like, he's posted a
Big
picture,
boy.
and obviously his face is significantly thicker, but it's not like he's like obese. Like he's just thick.
He's big 145er.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah. And then Barbosa said he wanted to fight either Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar, or the Korean Zombie, to which I say yes, absolutely, and make it happen.
I think we mentioned in the last podcast that he should fight Cater.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's the best fight.
That would be such a good fight.
yeah. I feel like him jumping all the way up to Max is a little.
To fight the champ, yeah, not exactly the move.
Well, it also just makes zero sense for Max. Like why?
Yeah.
Like does nothing. If he wins, it'd be like, well, of course.
You know, Max will defend his belt against the winner of Volkanovski and Brian Ortega.
That is correct.
You just have to wait an entire season now of Ultimate
Yeah.
Fighting.
He's playing Call of Duty and having a good time.
That's true. He's hanging out with his son
Yeah.
and his fiance, I guess. And that Korean Zombie already has a fight lined up, though, doesn't he?
Oh boy, I don't know.
I can't remember. He fought Brian Ortega.
Someone was calling him out, I thought.
I feel like Yair calls people out and then never fights them.
That's true. That is factually correct.
Like all the Zavit fights he pulled out of.
Yeah.
I was a big Yair fan until he fought Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, that was bad.
Poked him in the eye, and he was like, "You coward! You're not fighting me when I poked you in the eye."
Yeah.
I was a big fan of him in UFC 3 because if you used two of his elbow combos, you just made a windmill of death that nobody could avoid.
That was great, yeah.
He was busted in that game for sure.
100%. So Korean Zombie does have a fight June 19th, actually.
Against?
Dan Ige.
That is a good
Oh, I
fight.
forgot.
Yeah,
That.
very
That's a
good.
Wow.
banger.
That's a fun time.
I'd want Korean Zombie to win just because he lost last time, and so
They're both. I like them both. I like
Yeah.
them both.
I feel sad when Korean
I
Zombie
do feel
loses.
sad. And he lost to the Brian Ortega 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, bald Brian, who's OP.
Bald Brian.
Yeah.
I mean, every Brian is OP. You know what? It's not on the news that we were going to talk about it, but we have to talk about it. Brian Ortega bangs.
You can't keep getting away with it.
Brian Ortega will not stop posting about getting women on the
I
internet.
think those are just the ones he posts about. I have no doubt that I'm sure he's just like, it's a Tuesday.
He just goes to the grocery store and it's like, hello. And they're like, yes.
Would you like to come home with me? Yes.
Is
The
that
thing
a
is, you
question?
can't even blame the long hair anymore. Because I was always, he's just got the long, dreamy hair, blah, blah. No, you can't. You can't do anything
Yeah.
now.
No, he's just got that game, I guess.
He's got that game. I, too, am pregnant with Brian Ortega's child.
It can be like a pin people have. Like, I support breast
Dude, it's
cancer.
Dude, instead of having like a vaccination passport, you buy.
I've had sex with Brian Ortega.
Please go on.
You don't have a choice, and you just walk up to me like, well, I guess I have to.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, and then the season of The Ultimate Fighter starts this month, I believe.
Yeah,
With him and the fake champ, the false king.
absolutely. There's a lot of Volkanovski hate in this group.
Even though I like Volkanovski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is Max beat him.
He
Max
beat him.
In the second fight, by any metric, Max Holloway won that fight.
Well, and the very frustrating thing is now the judges seem to be very conscious, at the very least in the last couple of weeks, because it's been a topic of giving 10-8s.
Yeah.
And I feel like if that exact fight were to take place now, he'd win just because those first 2 rounds should be 10-8s. He pieced him up, he dropped him, he beat the shit out of him. Like,
Controlled the pace, controlled the range.
Yeah.
and it's a tough metric to find, which is why I guess it's good that more 10-8s are going. But like even the rounds that you could say Volkanovski won, he won less than Max won the rounds he did win. It's like that's literally the point of 10-8s. Is he should have 10-8'd those. Even if Volkanovski did win those 2 other rounds, I'd say they'd be 10-9s at best.
Yeah.
So like the point system just in certain fights just isn't utilized in it.
Oh, yeah, and let's talk about, just briefly circle back to Cody Garbrandt and Rob Font.
Oh yes.
So one of the judges had that 48-47 for Rob Font.
Yeah.
And it is, I can understand an argument for Cody Garbrandt winning round 1.
Yeah.
I think I disagree, but I can understand an argument. But I don't see what other round they would give him.
No.
What was it for 7? He wins 2 rounds?
Yeah. So assumedly they gave him the first 2. That
Yeah.
judge, and
Yeah,
So
which-
what other round did they give him?
No, that's it. For the 48-47, he got 2 rounds.
He got
Yeah,
round
So he got
1
the
and
first
2.
and second.
But I understand an argument for Cody Garbrandt winning round 1. I don't really get it.
It says the takedowns in wrestling, I think. Like, do I agree with it?
Yes.
No. I understand what they're saying.
But he was like getting annihilated on the feet in round 2.
Again, I just
And like he got
understand.
up decently quickly. Like there wasn't a lot of control time.
One thing I would say for sure is that takedown should pretty much barely, like almost not count at all if your opponent gets up immediately. It should count like a strike or something, because all you did was knock them over and they got right back up.
I don't know. Like MMA judging is tough because you have so many things that are so different. And how does
But if you take someone down and then you hold them down for a significant amount of time,
Yeah.
and are able to do stuff, that is obviously, gonna flip the round. But if all you do is put someone on their ass and then they get up right away within the next 5 seconds, it's not like you did a lot of damage. It's not like you controlled the fight that much. You just controlled where the fight went very briefly.
I think how it works is if you complete a takedown, you get like a set amount of points or whatever. You get, what do they say, like 5 points? And if you hold them down and start doing damage or passing positions or whatnot, you start getting more points.
Yeah.
I would assume that's kind of how it works.
yeah.
I would assume how it works is that Saul Diamano is smoking crack at the side of the octagon and then just rolls dice, and that's how he makes decisions.
Yeah, well,
Because, you know what, let's jump ahead, and that segues beautifully into Saul Diamano talking about how he gave round 1 of Chandler Oliveira a 10-8 for Michael Chandler. Insane.
See, I was holding it before. That doesn't blow me away. That's
Why?
not crazy to me. He
Why?
was like 2 punches away from winning that fight.
It is yeah. Like
Right.
when I read what at first I was like, oh, that's so stupid. But then I think it was MMA Uncensored, the article that you sent that he was interviewed on, and he was like, well, look, he was like 2 punches away from being finished. So that has to mean something. And I was like, you're not wrong. Like, that should mean something.
And like Oliveira had his back, but he wasn't like in trouble from it. It's not like Oliveira was locked up and we're all like, oh shit, it's almost
He
over.
was very close.
No, like he
But
didn't.
he was fighting the hands the whole time.
I was gonna say, we were worried because it was Charles Oliveira with a body lock and 4 minutes left. So yes, it wasn't an ideal situation for Chandler to be in. But it's not like he had something tight and just had to cinch it up and Chandler miraculously got out. Like, it's not like no real attempt happened at
We
that
weren't so worried about like the position he was in as much as the position he was in with who it was.
Yeah.
I think where I would disagree with it is that Oliveira had him in control for a while
Yeah.
in round 1. And it's not like Chandler almost finished him and then he was saved by the bell. Chandler almost finished him and then Oliveira found a way out of it. He was able to get up and then the round moved on.
Yeah,
Right?
but I mean, if you have someone hurt to the extent that, yeah, like a ref that maybe was a little more trigger happy could have stopped it there, like there should be a quantifiable way to measure
Keith
that.
Peterson joke, that's a big surprise.
Like if I was fighting and I did that to someone and it wasn't a 10-8, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, but you're always retarded while you're fighting. The question is,
Would you rather get knocked on your face and almost get finished? Or would you rather have someone on your back for a minute?
Because if the sequence, as I like, Chandler hit him, then he kind of like didn't quite fall over, then he hit him again, that actually dropped him, and then he was on top and like started hammer fisting, and the only reason he didn't get enough shots off was because Oliveira started throwing up the hands to kind of like feint submission, so then Chandler to be a bit more cautious. Like, and kudos to Charles Oliveira, it doesn't take anything away from him.
Yeah, for sure.
But he was this close to being finished, like I don't know, it is tough. It's a tough call.
I have a hard time seeing you give like Max the 10-8 and not give that a 10-8.
Drew?
but in those rounds with Volkanovski, where Max knocks him down, he's in control. He's in the driver's seat for that entire round nonstop.
True.
Yes.
He's in the driver's seat for the whole round. You can't say that about Chandler.
No.
He was not in the driver's seat for that whole round. So I think, to me, because 10-7s are never used, right?
Correct.
So realistically, a round is either going to be a 10-9 or a 10-8. For me, what I think a 10-8 is somebody's in the driver's seat for the vast majority of the round. That's a 10-8.
Did Chandler drop him initially that started the... Because Chandler was on top, and then Oliveira did
He cracked him, but he didn't drop him.
No, he cracked him, and then Charles shot him for a takedown, and he grabbed the guillotine, right? That's what.
Yeah.
Right, and then eventually... So if he rocked him twice, that does...
Like to me, a 10-8 is if you're dominating the fight, or if you almost finish someone. To me, that's a 10-8.
To me, a 10-8 is significantly controlling the outcome of the entire round.
Okay, but
That's a 10-8.
okay, like if we think... let's say that Oliveira didn't win the fight in the second round like he did. Let's say that fight goes on for the entire duration of the 5 rounds, and it's like pretty close. The other two, like just competitive. The other 2 rounds, they're tied 2-2, and then it's just that first round debating it or something like. I don't like. It should like that should be worth more. Like if all the other rounds are close, the fact that he beat his ass and almost had him finish should equate to more.
And
the only way to make it equate for more is for a 10-8 because you don't have a 10-7 system really in place.
And this is why I argue that a 10-7 system is great, because if there was a 10-7 system, I would say that round would be a 10-8, right? And then a 10-7 would be something more like we saw tonight with
Esparza?
yeah, like with Esparza in the first round, where she has like 4.5 minutes of control time and is on top the entire time beating ass.
I don't really like the 10-7.
Yeah, it kind of makes the 3 like you can get away with not that you ever really see them in like I know boxing because the round like the fights have so many more rounds, 10-8s and stuff. I feel are a lot easier to give out because it literally doesn't equate to mattering as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like in a 3-round UFC fight,
Yeah,
you get
10-7.
10-7, you can just coast the rest of the time.
Yeah.
But there's not public scoring, so you never know you had it.
Also, just have public scoring.
Yeah, also just have public scoring.
I mean, but like, you can be pretty sure. Like, if you're just in control the entire time and beating their ass, you can be like, well, I'm probably getting 10-7. I can kind of try and win the next round, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah, but you see people do that anyway. If
I know.
First 2 rounds, they coast.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think you would encourage that a lot more if you're handing out 10-7s.
Well, and the issue is the judge. If like bad judge calls were never really a thing we had to worry about in the UFC, and it's always seemed like they were common. I'd be like, yeah, have a 10-7 system, they'll use it appropriately.
This is true.
But can you imagine, like, dude, anytime
Very
Connor
true.
fights, he landed a left, 10-7.
Yeah.
Yeah, people might be giving those out like Skittles.
Okay, that is a very fair point.
And, like, 10-7 just breaks it so much more than 10-8. Like, 10-8 already, if it's a questionable 10-8, can be like, well, that's dumb as hell.
Yeah.
But 10-7 could just
I think
ruin the sport.
a great idea for judging would be to have, I think, more judges. I think 5 judges would be better. Because then at least it would remove some of the error.
Yeah, I'd say have more judges, and yeah, public scoring makes zero sense.
Yeah.
Why it's not
5
a thing.
judges in public scoring. Make it happen.
Well, and even because like there's zero argument against it. Like I heard some guys be like, "Well, then the fighters know that they're losing." Like, okay, so oh no, a fighter gets jacked up. It's like, oh fuck, I'm losing. I gotta go for a knockout. Bop. Like, sure.
I also have the UFC at least have a say in the judging, not these fucking commissions that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that must be so
Absolutely,
frustrating when you have a
absolutely.
judge who's just like,
There's
No.
some boxing guy who does. I'm not shitting on boxing here.
oh no, but boxing
But
judges
just
should not judge MMA
Guy who has no
competitions.
idea anything about grappling or kicking or just MMA in general.
Yeah.
And he's like, sure, this
Well, the
guy
thing-
wins.
sometimes it's
Yeah.
not even boxing judges. Like they're like, oh, we have a general athletic commission. What the fuck does that? You watch dudes run on the track, so like, what's a general athletic commission?
Yeah, get a little 24-hour crash course and set out there. Like,
So this is a kick. This
yeah.
When kick lands, point.
he did the tutorial on UFC 4. He is rock loaded and ready to go.
Yeah. And you know what I would love about open scoring? You know that a fighter like Mike Perry or something, if he disagreed with the round, would be screaming at the
Oh
end
yeah,
of
the
round.
mic moments that come
Oh,
from that
it
would be amazing.
so good.
That
This
would be
fucking
very
bullshit,
good.
I can't believe this is happening.
Dude, I want Darren Till on an open scoring system.
Yes.
What the fuck is this?
It's bucks. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Okay, let's see what else we got.
Sad news. Jacare was
Yeah.
released.
No, so he wasn't released. His contract is just up. They haven't decided if they're going to renew it yet.
Oh, I
What
thought I
I'm-
saw something that.
That's what I'm understanding from that.
I mean, I
Kind of
assume.
means-
I was gonna say I would assume we'll see like an official. He's out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. They didn't. They did jack shit for.
Anderson Silva.
Also true. No, but the Brazilian heavy when they released Alistair Overeem and
JDS.
yes, there's no JDS. Is he Brazilian? No, wait, fuck. I don't think he is. I think I'm
You racist motherfucker.
I think as when they were both in the UFC, I continued to mix him and Jacare. Yeah, but either way, when they released them, it was just like I'm pretty sure one of them said they found out on their phone from a news article. Like they didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
get phone
super
calls, which is insane. Like they're both like, yeah.
Professional organizations, stuff like that should not be slipping through the cracks.
Well, especially because I mean, like a former champion, and then Alistair Overeem, who was never champ, was a very big deal.
He is Brazilian, you racist prick.
I said I thought he was. I
Just
didn't
because
say
he looked that way, Zach.
So you're mixing them both up. You're
If
mixing
I'm honest,
them.
it's just because I always remember the very Brazilian yellow next to his name, and that's just kind of tied it in.
Ah, so all yellow people are Brazilian.
I see.
Most yellow shorts.
So Tony says he is not done and wants another fight.
So he's angry now.
Now he's pissed.
Because 9 losses or 9 rounds of in a row of losing.
Was it 11?
Oh, maybe it was 11.
You know what? I did initially hate it, and now I've kind of come around on it.
It's just who does he get?
Cowboy versus Tony?
Cowboy versus
They
Tony.
both retire. That's
I
the fight I want.
Yeah.
I still don't like it.
It's good. They're both in the same place in their career, kind of.
The issue is I want them to. I don't care if it's belittling or embarrassing. I don't care. I want them to give Cowboy a T-ball. I want them to just set up a home run for him.
Sean O'Malley him a little.
Yeah, that he
Yeah,
can
yeah.
set, do one more of those crazy combos. We can all just pretend it's, 2012 and he's still a threat. And I'm okay with that.
But imagine
I'm
this.
more than
Imagine
okay.
we're all sitting around the TV watching UFC. Tony versus Cowboy. It's a crazy fight like old times, and then they both retire.
But
That would
then
be
one of
such
them
a
has
feel.
to lose.
It's okay. In that fight, it doesn't matter. It's just a feel good.
The dream would be it's a 3-round split decision. just an absolute war that's beautiful.
Or it's just every round's a draw.
I mean, also though,
Send them out into the sunset.
I feel bad for saying this because obviously I'm a big Cowboy guy. I love Cowboy. Like, I don't want him to just get knocked out again.
Yeah.
It's been so many knockouts. Just let him. I just want to. If he has to lose, I want him to go the distance at least.
It's old Tony though. He's landed like 37 significant strikes in his last 3 fights.
That is true. Yeah, but it's not. Cowboy also won't take him to the ground, even if he had even if it was guaranteed to win that one.
That post Gaethje Tony.
Dude, Gaethje broke the man.
I mean, he did. We watched it happen.
I think that's a good fight. I think that's the fight to make for both of them.
Cowboy
Yeah,
versus
maybe.
Tony.
Because no one cares if they lose.
Loser retires, winner also retires.
That's correct.
I just feel sad. I feel sad talking about it. It bums me out.
Not good.
The sad thing would be if they both just look old and it's like two old men.
Aw.
And we're just like, no.
The sad thing would be a Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell 3.
Tito Ortiz is trying to make a fourth one. Did you hear about that?
I did. Tito, I am begging you.
No one wants
Stop.
to see the third one. No one wants to see the third one, and it bankrupted the company. Like, go to Boy Promotions. I think that's the company.
Yeah.
They don't exist anymore.
No, that fight killed the promotion. Man, speaking of Tito Ortiz, he was saying he's a elected official. You know what? Politics is worthless. Totally broken. Tito Ortiz is an elected official in the U.S. He was saying some insane shit at an anti-mask rally. He was like, look, in Japan, people are just falling over dead in the street. I was like, what? Where are you seeing that? He's just watching footage of the atom bomb. He's like, oh my god. Guys,
That's too far.
coronavirus is wreaking havoc.
It's like the recolorized footage.
World War II in color. Oh my god.
He just got on the history recolorized Instagram account. It was like, oh,
I saw it last night on the History Channel.
He's been watching the History Channel thinking it's the news channel. Oh my god, guys, we just invaded Vietnam.
dude, the bomb just went on. Did you see that new show, Friends? The first episode just aired last night on the Retro Channel.
He's like 30, 40 years behind on everything. The UFC just started.
Oh my god, I should enter that.
I should enter that.
I want to fight Chuck Liddell for the first time. Maybe he thinks it's the first fight.
Dude, if they did that fight again and one of them walked out to It Feels Like the First Time, it would make the entire thing worth it.
It was like the very
First time.
So Chuck Liddell, it seems like the CTE he suffered comes out in physical ways. Like his body just seems really fucked.
Yeah.
Tito Ortiz just doesn't have a brain anymore.
To be
Tito
fair,
Ortiz didn't have
yeah, I
a
don't
brain
think he
ever.
ever did.
That's true.
6 days a week, I train 5 times a week. Of those 5 times a week, 4 days a week, 3 times a week, 2 times. Like, he doesn't know.
That quote of his
My
is incredible.
favorite Tito Ortiz clip of all time is when he does an acronym. He's like, I have an acronym for so-and-so. And he says the acronym, and not a single letter matches in the entire thing.
My favorite Tito Ortiz moment is the like the classic him with Chael Sonnen on the like press conference in Bellator. He's like, I'm a lion and all these hyenas going around. Chael Sonnen's just roasting.
I mean, didn't he try to roast like somebody's wife one time and it also didn't work for him? Like,
That's the classic. The only person who's made money using their mouth is your ex-wife.
Yeah, that was a good.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Chael Sonnen line.
That is a murder on the mic.
Jail did that frequently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was good.
Best ever doing on the mic? What do we think, fellas? Chael Sonnen, Michael Bisping also up there. Dominic Cruz also up there. Conor McGregor obviously also up there.
Yeah, they're GOAT status for sure.
Yeah. For trash talking,
I think that's like the MMA Mount Rushmore of trash talking.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Darren Tills is also getting up. He's got
He's
more
up
time.
there. He's definitely up there.
And he still has time to go.
Well, it's fun because they're all very different. Like,
Yeah.
Bisping and Till are very memey.
Yeah.
McGregor just, you'd kind of never know what to
Snappy.
expect.
Zingers.
Yeah, he's just got good zingers. Dominic was just like hurtful. He would like surgical strikes.
Just go home crying.
Like he had like a contact in the FBI or something. Like could just do background checks. It's like, so in the 4th grade, this kid like pissed his pants. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna use that.
In grade 10, you vomited doing push-ups. You're right, I did.
So you just make the video doing constant push-ups, doing nothing, staring at the camera. The guy would just know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great, truly great trash.
And then Chael just like, dude, that clip before he fights John Jones, and it's sad because he loses that fight. No, sorry, my bad.
Chael Sonnen has
Never
never
lost.
lost.
Never lost a round.
I mean, he's like, you know, the hometown hero. He was real. He existed. The legend of him, and he rattled. And it's just so good. It's just so hyped.
Good.
It's so good.
So good.
Speaking of trash talk, Conor McGregor is trash talking Usman.
Yes.
That Usman fight.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Which is interesting.
Maybe win a couple fights.
Well, it's interesting. You never see someone vie that hard to be murdered.
Yeah.
It's interesting to, like, you know, shit talk the guy who's going to annihilate you
Usman
if it were to
would
happen.
kill Conor McGregor.
I assume it's just staying in the headlines.
Well, but Usman also, that's what I was looking for when Usman kind of, not really fired back, but he was getting interviewed. And Usman had to say, he's not the champion Conor McGregor, he's not the double champ, he's just not that guy anymore. The old Conor, the hungry Conor, that was the fighter that fighters respected. Not that we don't respect him at all, he's still a UFC fighter, but he's just a regular fighter. And I'm like,
dang, that's kind of a bad line, honestly.
I'm like, a broken clock is right twice a day.
well, keep in mind, Usman, it's not so much what he says, it's how he says it. So if I was to
That's
swipe
true.
over, I'm sure it'd be like, you know, Conor McGregor. It's
just
this-
a fighter.
he's a regular fighter. He's just like, okay, shut up. But yeah, I was like, and it's kind of true. Like everyone,
Yeah,
when
no,
he
I would
lost
agree.
to Poirier, it kind of pissed me off because everyone was like, well, Conor needs to change this, and then if he does this, then he'll be the killer again. I'm like, or Conor's good, Poirier was better.
But time has passed, and he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And not even that he's like less motivated or whatever, but Poirier just was better, had a better game plan.
That's so correct.
Like, and Conor didn't look bad in that fight. He cracked him almost, like as Poirier said, wobbled him in the first, could have finished
Yeah,
it there.
yeah,
like, it's not
absolutely.
like he got annihilated. He just lost the fight.
And Dustin had such a good plan going into that.
Yeah,
There was
for
clearly
sure.
a great game plan, and he executed perfectly. So.
Yeah.
So this GSP wanting to box Oscar, and the UFC's not allowing him.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, Oscar De La Hoya.
Oh, you know who that boxer? Wow. You knew a boxer.
Oscar,
Amazing. Who?
I know like a fair amount about like older boxing. I do not know current boxing at all.
But what I want to say is I actually think it's a good decision by the UFC not to let GSP box.
I mean, I feel like he would annihilate Oscar De La Hoya.
Sure,
Right now.
I agree to too, but given who Oscar De La Hoya is and stuff like that, I get GSP's still kind of a golden boy, and you still kind of want to keep him in the loop with everything you do.
True.
It makes sense to me. I think it's the right call.
Who knows? But like someone like Oscar De La Hoya is kind of sleazy.
Yeah.
So who knows what he's like gonna try and like worm his way into?
True.
Yeah.
Well, like, I guess my two thoughts on this would be Oscar De La Hoya just looked atrocious at that Triller event. Was it last month or whatever? Just,
The old line of cocaine.
well, yeah, was
Line after
drunk
line.
and high on who knows what,
Yeah.
and just, did not look great. And even like the videos he was posting, it's like, oh, the speed and everything. You know, I was like, he looks good for a dude who's old who used to box for, like, obviously in his prime, Oscar De La Hoya was phenomenal, one of the best, but I was like, you're just not there, and GSP's bigger than you, and also could still probably fight in the UFC and
still
be
fit.
competitive.
Yeah.
That's never really been out of training, and it's just
No, absolutely.
and Dana's been very vocally against, you know, the Triller and the Paul brothers and all
Yeah.
that, and just him and Oscar De La Hoya also hate each other, so it's not like if he's gonna
Yeah.
release the kind of golden boy, it's not gonna
and
be for
GSP
him.
was saying, you know, he wanted to do it for charity and respect, but I don't know, man. There's other things you can do for charity.
Yeah.
Dana White should fight Oscar De La Hoya.
I would pay every dollar I have to watch that.
I would watch that.
No testing.
No testing.
No testing.
Dude, with how Dana's looking lately, yeah,
No testing.
I just want to hear the shit talking between them.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
If,
Oscar's just always just high.
Yeah, if he can string together a sentence.
Yeah. No, I think Dana White would kill him on the mic.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
He already does when he comes up in conversation.
You know, that's like we can say our shit about Dana, but he's honestly not bad. Like when people, you know, volley stuff to him, it's not like he slams them all
Oh,
out
he's
of the
good
park.
on the mic.
But
Dana White
he's
is
got
good.
some good moments for
Yeah.
sure.
I like the clips of him roasting Ariel Helwani the most.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Those class.
Those are very fun.
Yeah.
I always have mixed feelings on Helwani, if I'm
I don't
honest.
like him.
I don't like him either.
I don't like him at all. Seeing that his contract might not get renewed with ESPN filled me with joy.
I feel like the thing that probably would save him is just the him and DC podcast.
Yeah, but I would just rather have it be just DC.
True. Yeah, that like when I was working construction, it just was listening to podcasts constantly. I ran out of content pretty quick, so I started listening to theirs, and I was like, oh yeah, I like listening to DC.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Like yeah, but like clips of I don't know. I feel like I like the fact that sometimes he if like he feels like a fighter's getting kind of bullied or treated unfairly. I do like that he kind of like tries to speak up for those people or give them a bit of a platform. But he definitely does have his downsides as well.
Yeah, not a huge fan of him. No.
Cyborg murdered whoever she fought.
Yeah.
There's not really much to say there. It's,
She killed her.
yeah, what do you expect?
She called out Kat Zingano after, which I just thought was so weird. I was like, I guess?
What was the line she had? She was like, something.
You can't be the goat until you take out the cat or something like that.
What are you talking about?
Oh, what the hierarchy of animals are you looking at?
Dude, goats kill cats?
The upside down food pyramid?
Yeah, so that's just, we'll acknowledge that happened.
Well, I mean, and also, she's not the GOAT, Amanda Nunes would like a word.
Yeah.
That is correct.
It would only take about a minute.
Yeah. Ayo. Ayo.
That would be a fun fight to see again, but it will not happen.
No.
Nunes and Cyborg?
Yes.
And if it did, I think same result because Cyborg's.
Like, she won, but, like, I don't know. Like, when someone wins just, like, via big punching power very early on, like, yes, obviously, kudos to you, and it's earned and all that stuff, but it's not a guarantee that it's going to go down to same.
But I think there's a pretty significant age gap there, is there not?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Let's find out with the power of the internet.
Cyborg.
It's also just, Amanda Nunes is so good.
Oh, yeah. And she's only looked better.
Yeah.
She has only looked better. Megan Anderson got absolutely killed in that last fight.
Yeah, she looked like she didn't know what to do.
She literally Megan Anderson got hit in the face by Amanda Nunes and looked like she didn't know where she was.
Yeah, it was
And
just,
the fight was over.
Okay.
This is a mistake.
So Chris Cyborg is 35 years old, and Amanda Nunes is 32.
Oh, okay. It's not big of a gap. as I thought.
Holly Holm, just because it's here in the little drop down menu, is 39, which is crazy.
Hang 'em up. Hang 'em up.
Yeah.
It is time.
Most important news of the week, I'd say, is our boy Diego Sanchez finally leaves his weird manager and coach.
I would like to point out that the phrasing on that is Diego said he no longer has a professional relationship with his coach. I am
Interesting.
very worried that the personal relationship continues.
To anyone listening, I would highly recommend you look up the video of Diego Sanchez hanging upside down as his coach kicks him in the head, and they're both incredibly sweaty.
Recommend if you're like it, because honestly, it's sad. Like I didn't
Yeah.
even really laugh. Like it just made
It
me
was just what
sad.
made me feel bad. Yeah.
Because I guess also for people who don't know, because I kind of got into the MMA game late, so I never really saw Diego at prime.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was back in the day. He was like one Ultimate Fighter season 1.
Yeah, he was fun to watch. He was
Yeah,
one
he
of the
was-
classic guys.
Yeah, one of the classic dudes, but time gets to all of us.
That's
Well, and getting knocked out constantly and refusing to leave
Also gets to all of us.
also
Yeah.
gets to you.
correct. And seemingly a bad person.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
it seems like Joshua Fabia, his hopefully former coach and friend and all that stuff,
And
just
lover, yeah.
and lover was just taking advantage and abusing him and just kind of using him for
Yeah.
likes and the headlines and stuff. And it's just sad to see.
Yeah, the whole situation was just gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Well, I know also, as we learned just from the comment sections, is that Joshua Fabia had the power of attorney for Diego Sanchez, so he was responsible for, basically his life, could do anything he wanted. So
Yeah.
who knows if he drained the old bank account.
Yeah, for what
and-
people that don't know what that is, that's basically like control. You have the power to control their finances.
Yeah, which is so fucked.
Yeah, which is very fucked. Because who knows what he was doing?
Yeah, like he could have
Yeah.
just gone in, taken it all, and been like, "Oh no, I need it for something," or he
For
said
your
I could take
super
it.
secret training.
Yeah. I think the most important skill in professional MMA is knowing when to hang them up.
Yeah, having friends that are actually like, buddy.
It's time to go. And like GSP, Khabib, they did it perfect where they went up, prime shape, top of their game, left as champs.
Do you know who else just did that?
That's right.
Paul Felder.
Paul Felder.
Oh.
Paul Felder.
It's good, but I am sad.
It's a fair call. He's
Yep.
right. He's had so many incredible fights.
Yeah.
So many.
They're all good.
They're all
You
good.
can't name a bad one.
No.
No.
Both of his Edson Barbosa fights are so fun. So fun. That Dan Hooker fight,
So good.
so
So
good.
just his last one with RDA on very short notice.
Yeah,
he looked
great.
fantastic.
He looked phenomenal.
I am sad because he did look so good in
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
fight.
he looked fucking phenomenal in
Yeah.
that fight.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He will still be on the mic though.
Yeah.
He is my favorite commentator, so I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
happy he's still around.
Yeah.
Me too, man. Just loved all of his fights, how he carried himself inside the octagon and
Yeah.
outside, and just seems like a great family dude, great guy. I liked that pretty much after every fight he would like just get so emotional. He was such a
He just loved the sport.
he
and
really was
being in
passionate
there.
about the sport.
He just seemed like a dude too. There was nothing like fake about Paul Felder.
Yeah, he was
He's
just,
just a dude.
yeah, he was.
I
legit.
would love to have an evening hanging out with Paul.
Yeah, beer with Paul Felder seems like
Yeah.
a very fun time.
I'll also miss literally the millisecond he gets kicked in the body, just being immediately red because he is the whitest man you've ever seen
That
in
is
your
true,
life.
yeah.
As another very pale person, I feel some kinship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
I'll miss seeing him fight. I really will. Man. I'm sad, but I'm happy for him. I hope, retirement's good to him and everything.
And it was getting to the point where like he was kind of looking not bad, but like you could tell he wasn't going to go up kind of
Yeah.
in skill. Like he was definitely in the tail end, but he wasn't looking bad. Was never embarrassing. So
Yeah, he still looked good, but you could tell he didn't want it like he used to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I brought it up last podcast, so I don't want to harp on it too much, but it does still make me sad because Barbosa went down and looked so good, and like I do feel like there'd be some fun fights for him at 145, but yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, respect the man. Good for
Yeah,
him.
100%.
Good for him.
Good for him. I hope he enjoys retirement.
Absolutely.
They say when you start thinking about retirement, you should probably just call it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he gets fat and eats lots of food.
That's what, dude. Like the mental weight being free from that. Like he just doesn't have to worry. It must just be so nice.
Yeah. Dude, whenever I see a fighter get fat after their career's over, or any athlete, I'm like, good for you.
Yeah, 100%.
You worked for years on your physique. Just eat, have fun. You've
Yeah.
earned it. You've earned it.
100%.
Die of a heart attack at age 55. You've earned it.
Well, you're so healthy for so long of your life. You can
Maybe
probably
counts
get
as
away.
health,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just have an average life expectancy. You can
That's
get
true.
on. It's all good.
All right, folks. Well, I think that wraps up this week's podcast. We have our podcast on Spotify now. We have it on Podbean. We have it on YouTube. We have it on a couple other podcast surveys. And as always, if you want to send us an email, links are always in the description of wherever you're listening to the podcast or our social medias.
Yeah, we try to keep our Twitter pretty bumping. Like during the fights, we'll try to kind of live tweet just our thoughts and stuff there. So if you ever want to reach out to us or have any questions that you want to send us that way too, we're always checking it. So yeah,
Absolutely. We have nothing better to do with our time.
patiently just looking at our phones, hoping that someone reaches to it.
All right, folks. Later.
All right, thank you very much.
So, yeah.